Hi, today's the day 3, 1st of July 2017. If you wonder why my lips aren't syncing with the video camera, it's because I have a really old camera and it's not keeping up with the processing. So I'm sorry if that puts you off. Anyway, day 3, 1st of July 2017. I'm going to go back to the 25th of January 1999 and I'll just read a letter. I've written this to the Ombudsman. I, Diane Solomon, have found it very difficult to get answers to my problems. The buck has been passed to numerous government departments, yet I still have no answers. I've contacted the Commissioner of Health, the Department of Environmental Protection, Peter Johns and Steve Watson, the Environmental Health Department, the City of Stirling Health Department, Patrick Lamack, the Minister for Health, the Minister of Family and Children's Services, the Minister of Environment, Environmental Health, Owen Ashby, Health Department of WA, Richard Theobald, the Principal Environmental Health Officer, Brian Devine and Wayne Jolie, WorkSafe and Doppler. I've also been in contact with the Community News and the West Australian. The only person that's shown interest is John Kabalki, which saw his picture yesterday, MLA. Nolamara. I originally contacted the Mayor of the City of Stirling in a public meeting who said, in relation to my problem, buyer beware. You shouldn't have bought your property off Homes West. I was of course stunned by this comment and somewhat confused, as I had bought my property privately 12 months ago. 12 months ago I bought the above land property, but since moving here I've battled unexplained health problems of myself and my children, e.g. UTIs, ENTs, rashes, gastro and asthma. I live within 100 metres of the Atlas tip site who, while they work, blow dust and mulch continually in my yard. I have been battling to keep my pool clean, which turns green within a matter of hours, even whilst swimming, which we've had to evacuate because the amount of debris landing in our pool. I have photos to substantiate my claims and have a great concern for the health and welfare of my children. There have been no tests done on the black fermenting mess that we have in our backyard, which I can no longer clean as I keep blowing transformers and cells trying to filter it. I cannot empty the 5-glass pool, it will collapse. I have enclosed a letter from a pool specialist regarding this. I'm not sure if several pools in the area are affected. Well, they were, weren't they? So too may be the air conditioners. There have been no tests carried out on the air conditioners in the area. Each and every time I contact someone, I'm passed on to someone else. I keep spending money trying to keep in contact with these people, especially the DEP, who insists it's a health department matter, and the health department blames the DEP. I think they both need to investigate this matter, as I believe it to be the DEP's responsibility to stop, once and for all, extreme dust and organic material blowing into the area. I also believe that the health department needs to look at my health implications that have already been associated with my pool that may occur in the future. I would appreciate your help with this matter, and whilst the doctors ask me to leave my home, you can contact me on or write to the above address. As I said, the West Australian did contact me and they did a story which I will just, I'll put an avocado on it, which I will just photocopy that and put it in the slideshow. But it just says here that something that I'll just read quickly. Atlas Group Operations Manager Hugh Lau says the company had taken steps to restrict dust blowing onto resident properties. We operate a large water truck to help suppress any dust particles that arise from our machines or operations. The machine works all day on dry days all year round. Complete lie. Ms. Solomon said she had dust problems since she moved in, but about 6 months ago, when the soil blending operation moved to within 100 metres of her home, that's when the massive problems started. DEP spokeswoman said Ms. Solomon's claims about dust were substantiated by photographs taken at the property. And the spokeswoman said that the complainant was the subject of a report yet to be completed, but it's likely the report would attempt to identify the source. Residents group Mirrabooka Action Group said Atlas's licence provision dealing with dust had been watered down. Everyone has ear problems. The houses are covered in dust. Nollamara MP John Kabelke said that he was insistent buck passing at government departments, and the fact that no one has carried out tests to find out the extent and nature of the problem is unacceptable. What happens in summer when the kids want to swim? Well, they didn't, did they? The Minister for Environment and the Ombudsman wrote back, and she just said that she's committed to ensuring that something will be done, and to seek medical advice. I will copy that and put that in there from the Minister of the Environment. And I do have one from the Ombudsman. I'll just quickly do that. And the Ombudsman says that it seems reasonable to expect that the situation will improve as a result of the monitoring and testing currently being conducted in the area, including your garden. The situation didn't improve. I ended up with massive health problems, and he goes on to say that if I'm completely dissatisfied, then I should contact him again. I never did. I ended up too sick, unable to process anything. My brain was not functioning. I don't know what I've been doing, for how long I've been doing. It seemed like no one wanted to do anything or wanted to help, so that's why I took photos from around the area. And one day I thought to myself, I'm just going to go for a drive around there. So I did, you know, I took off in my little car, and Debbie and I we got in my car, grabbed her, and we got in our car and we went on a little trip. So we went round to the front of the Atlas tip site, and we saw the trucks, this truck here, being filled with the stuff that they process and make at the Atlas site. So all the rubbish that was dumped there got put into a machine, trundled down like a gold pan, breaking up all the bits of dead nappy, dead animals, God knows what else you put in your bin, to make a slurry. That's it. So then they would pour that slurry into these trucks, okay, and drive up the driveway. Now that photo is taken while I'm sitting in my car. So Debbie obviously took that while we're driving along in my car. And we're following, wondering, where are they taking this stuff? Because they weren't allowed to dump it at the tip site, okay? So we follow it up to a place in Kalingari. And this stuff stinks. And actually, like, it was spilling out all over the road. I've got a video somewhere. And that stuff was spilling out all over the road as we were following it. So I get up to the place that they process this stuff. And processing this stuff means laying it out in great big piles in the open and letting it sit there until it dries out. Now this so-called dust that's been landing on our house and, you know, whatever, comes with a site safety induction. Now we'd been breathing this in around our house. It's been falling all over the road. It was all over my car by this stage. And it says here, site safety introduction To overview the duty of care regulations and the minimum safety requirements within Atlas Group. Objective: duty of care for the employee, for the employers, blah 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 blah. Okay? Taking good care of equipment, accident and injury reporting, etc. And it goes on to say that working with organic material. The Atlas composting operation treats materials varying from raw organic waste from the sorting facility to full composted organics. The material contains live microorganisms including bacteria, fungi and protozoa. The risks associated with this material include inhalation of dust and or liquid mists may irritate, inflame or sensitize the nose, throat and lungs, resulting in illness ranging from hay fever to asthma to pneumonia or pneumonia-like illnesses. Direct contact with this material and or its dust and or liquid mists, bioaerosols, may cause skin irritation, dermatitis and skin or eye infection or irritations. Now, you have to remember that I never got this safety sheet until I'd been complaining. I would never have known that that substance caused these symptoms. It goes on to say, people particularly at risk are those suffering from asthma or allergies and those whose immune defence systems are compromised. The following Health WA warning applies to all personnel and visitors onto the compost site. It says here, this product contains microorganisms that may be harmful to your health. Avoid breathing dust or mist from this product. Wear gloves and keep product moist when handling. Wash hands immediately after use. Safety precautions. Never handle the material without wearing gloves. Always wear a mask when exposed to airborne dust from the windrows. Always wash your hands before eating and handling food. Always treat cuts with antiseptic and cover with a suitable dressing. Your skin is your last line of defence. This is a biologically active material. The only way that bacteria can get inside you is through your mouth or through your cuts and abrasions on your skin. First aid. Irrigate your eyes with plenty of water for 10 minutes. Wash skin with soap and water. Seek medical attention for persistent skin, eye or respiratory systems. Report promptly any hazardous situation that you cannot correct and immediately report your supervisor any accident, incident, injury or damage which arises in the course of work. This is important because negligent minor injuries can become serious. The cause of the injury may require urgent attention to prevent further injury, and late or unreported injuries risk workers' compensation being denied. Remember, the smallest cut, if left untreated, can become a serious infection. Now, this site safety induction sheet, which I stole, should have been available under Freedom of Information from my solicitor, from the DEP, from anybody. But you know what? It didn't turn up anywhere. I actually found that and I took a photo of it because I couldn't believe what I was reading, and I was only able to get my hands on that document because I knew a person that was working at the tip site whose friend and work colleague was having health issues, and so was he, and having known him for a number of years, he didn't have them prior to working there, and he was concerned about the contract that he had to sign, saying that Atlas were no longer responsible for any health issues that he may incur as a result of working with this biological active material that, according to Atlas, is safe, there's no problem. According to the DP, there's no problem. According to the health department and their tests, there was no problem. It's no problem. Avoid breathing dust or mist from this product. Yet we live near it and we're allowed to breathe it in every day. That's all for today. Let me know what you think.